Hi there, welcome to my shop. And for those of you who've been here before, welcome back. Now, some of you are going to know this, some of you knew this and just pretty much forgot about it, and some of you don't care. But I'm going to tell you anyway, it's just over 2 months until Halloween. So I want to do some Halloween projects on the XTOOL S1. I love this machine. It is such a joy to work with using the XCS software, XTOOL's own software for running this. And before I get to those projects, let me tell you a few things and why I like them about this S1. Now the first one is the autofocus, sometimes referred to as the distance measuring. And I know that some people complain about the fact that there's not a camera on this laser engraver. Well, I've used a camera on a few different laser engravers, and to be honest with you, I think they're a pain. If they go out of adjustment, they can be hellaciously long time to get them back in adjustment. So let me show you how this autofocus works with the S1. All right, so let's start a new project here. Take a few seconds for this to come up. And then we're going to take a look at the distance measuring, the autofocus feature. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a red crosshair right there. I'm going to bring that over here. And now, if I just hit this distance button right here, that's going to measure that distance to focus it. And now the probe will go over to the right and reset, and we have a distance of 12.38 millimeters. Now the next thing we can do is the marking, and that allows us to determine where we want to do the next engraving, cutting, whatever we want to do. So let's move this over here. I'm going to hit Start Making. I'll choose a rectangle. Start making, marking. And it's going to want 2 points. So we'll press the button, it gives us number 1. And then if we come down and bring it over here, that'll give us a rectangle to work with. And there it is right there. So we can end the marking. It's done. And there we see our rectangle. That's the area in which we can engrave or score something, cut out if we want to. So let's try a shape. Let's do one of these borders. Let's see what this one looks like. All right. So we can put that in here and we can make it larger. We can fill as much of that area as we're able to with it. And we're going to engrave. I'm going to use 3 millimeter basswood plywood. And the engrave will run at 20% power, 250 millimeters per second, 1 pass, and I'm going to increase these lines per centimeter to 200, just to give it a little more definition. Now if we want to click on that, that gives us an idea, the recommended value of 20% power, 250 millimeters per second. All right, so now let's hit the framing button, and this should frame exactly where this shape is. And there you go. It's not framing for the entire border that we created. It's framing for this border or feature that we have put in here. So now we know where it's going to do. We could go to Process. It'll tell us how long it's going to take to engrave this. 10 minutes and 43 seconds. And if we were to hit start, tells us we need to close the lid. Of course, that's one of the safety features. It won't start the laser with the lid open. That would be dangerous to your eyesight. So we can confirm that's closed. We'll process again. Still 10 minutes, 43 seconds. We can hit start. And now if I hit the button on the front here, it would burn that. I'm not sure I really want to do that, but I'm going to do it just to show you how it's working. Just going to wait for a few seconds for the smoke to be cleared. Okay. Turn off that fan. Turn the module to its home position. And let's take a look at this. All right, it took 10 minutes and 29 seconds to complete this. I think that looks pretty darn good. It's not real deep. Of course, you could lower the speed or raise the power if you want it to be a little darker, but that's looking pretty good. I really love this marking system and the autofocus. They work so well together. This is an awesome machine. All right, I have the 3 colors I want to use for Halloween items, be it earrings or whatever. I've got white, I've got orange, and I've got black. And I've got them all shaken up well. I'm going to do both sides of each of these pieces of wood. I've seen people mask them off and do small strips, but I believe over the coming years, hopefully, I'll be able to use this up. So these all have both the paint and the primer in them. I'm going to try to do fairly light coats. I'll do 2 or 3 coats, I believe, on each one. And after I get the first coat done, I will take these all outside and clean the nozzles. Well, I'm not real impressed with all the spots that are coming off the black one here. Maybe I needed to clean that nozzle before I even used it. Anyway, I'll let these dry and I'll be back to do possibly a second coat on them. Okay, I admit it, I forgot to turn on the camera when this first started burning. But this is going to be a Halloween pumpkin light. I think this turned out very nicely. So now let me put this together and I'll show you what it's all about. All right, I've got my 3 pieces of 2mm basswood plywood painted. Did one black, one white, and one orange. And then I decided, since orange is the color for Halloween, I would do 3 more. Over the years, I expect I might just use them up. So I'm going to start out with the orange, making some bat earrings. Let's take a look at how that works with the S1. There we have them. Some bat earrings for Halloween. For a finish on those, I'm going to use this Watco crystal clear lacquer. I think this should work just fine. It's a semi-gloss. I think it'll look pretty good on there. And then I realized that bat earrings should probably be black. So I did a set of them in black as well. And I'm quite happy with how they came out. And I decided I would cut these apart because I think it was originally designed for cloth that would fold of those dotted lines. So let's just see if we can cut these last 2 apart. All right. These should work just fine. Okay. Now maybe I can make a box out of these. I'm going to be using Starbond medium thick glue, CA glue or cyanoacrylate glue, to glue these faces down on there, and I need to line them up perfectly. So let's see if I can get some glue on here. All right, I don't want too much. Prefer it doesn't squeeze out a lot. Now the trick is to line it up properly. All right, give it a little time to dry, and I'll do the other ones, spray those with lacquer, and then see if I can glue these into a box. All right, I must confess I did not care for the way this medium CA glue came out of the bottle. It was a little too much, ended up having a little bit of squeeze out. Not terrible, but I switched for these three to the thick CA glue and got very little, if any, squeeze out. So I'm much happier with that. Let's cut some small pumpkin earrings now. Okay, I think that did a marvelous job. I love this S1. XTOOL has made such a beautiful machine. I think one of my favorite things about it is the marking, where you can mark out a rectangle or a circle or whatever you want, and then place whatever you're going to burn in that area. Well, I think I've said enough for now anyway about the S1. I really like this machine a lot. I think XTOOL has done a great job on it. And during the time I was incapacitated, they've come out with a few more machines, and I'd certainly like to take a look at those. But for now, this is a wonderful machine. The only thing I can see that someone might call a negative is, as I said earlier, the fact that it doesn't have a camera. But that doesn't bother me in the least. So, I managed to make a few different Halloween items, a couple of different tea light holders. This is kind of cute. I really like this one with the pumpkin faces to go around, the light inside. And some pumpkin earrings. I like those. I like these bat wing earrings, particularly in black, it turns out. But I think these turned out quite nicely. So, if you enjoyed this, if you maybe found something interesting, please click the like button, let me know I'm doing something right. And if you haven't subscribed before, I'd appreciate it if you would. It helps my channel, and I really appreciate my subscribers more than I can tell you. So I don't know what else to say about this. I want to thank XTOOL for sending me this machine. They sent it to me so I could do a review, and I hope I've done it justice. I don't want to sound like a salesman for XTOOL, but I really do like this machine quite a lot. So between now and the next time I'm around, I hope you'll have a great day in your shop and be safe. And do come back next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.